All right, so I'm assuming you're starting now.
It'll take some work.
I mean, we're all recording anyways.
Yeah,
right now.
Recording anyway. Yeah,
that's right. All right. So, do you think Emo could be remade in today's economy?
I mean, there's some pretty fucking wild stuff coming out. Not that I could name anything, but the last thing. Actually, no, I could name one thing. That one anime where it's like the two old couple and they get really young, or the one where like his wife becomes a child. You know?
Oh yeah.
Just on a level of like problematics.
Yeah, I just feel like there's sort of an incest drought in our modern anime ecology.
Do you really think so?
I don't know. Like, when's the last time we really talked about like the brother sister?
I mean, they had that like Alia-san. Yeah, Alia. There was like weird brocon shit in it, which was. I mean, it wasn't like that's not the point of the show, but it was in it. So it's in the Geist.
Huh. I don't know this one. Anyways, hello everybody, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the tentatively titled Genshiken Alumni Podcast. Tentative because apparently my co-hosts here haven't actually graduated from college yet. I'm your host, madholy, but you can call me Mad, or Holy, or madholy. So let's actually talk about this for a minute. Like, why have you two not graduated from college yet? Eli, you go first.
I'm 21. What is this question? I'm a full-time worker. I've been a worker for like since I was 18. Okay, I had to quit college because it was just too much time.
Acceptable, I suppose. Okay, Blook, what's your excuse?
Well, I'm an art student, and I'm still on my third year, so I guess, and I'm still not ready to join the workforce. So, and I'm trying to delay as much my entry into the hellscape that is, the arts, like the post-art school, job market. So that is why I'm still an art student.
Yeah, bad answer. Much better than yours, Eli. I'm sorry.
What? Why? I'm in the job market. I'm a busy person. What does that mean?
I don't know. I just feel like there's more groundedness to that.
Well, you know, maybe because I said it too quick. I don't want to like fucking vent post right now. That would be terrible.
Your explanations are only as good as your pacing.
Oh well. Okay, I gotta talk like slower, more methodical, be more mysterious.
That's the spirit. I feel like an old person surrounded by such youthful energy, like all these like budding. What do you call it? Like intelligence. What was the fucking those literati that meme?
Literati, yeah. Meet the hot new literati that are reshaping literary criticism or some shit. There's just a bunch of like old fucks.
Intelligence.
I feel like that should be our like title. It's just something the literati. But then I feel like that would be too serious, or like people wouldn't think that's a joke, and they think we're just actually more highfalutin.
They think we're serious. Yeah, I would not. Yeah, I don't know if that's it. I wouldn't call myself hot either. Also, you didn't say your age. You know,
I'm 26, soon to be 27. Fuck my life.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I got that Unk on to NB energy here. I bring that to the table.
Real Unk.
Yeah, we're like children. But like of age, so it's not weird.
I think that's weird no matter what.
No.
You have to phrase it like that.
We're like adult children. We're not like man children, but we're adults. You know? If it was a man child, I'd be like pathetic, and I don't want to think of myself like that.
You know, I feel like man-child isn't said as much as it used to be.
Are you sure? I still say that. I call people that all the time.
Well, it's because we've been around the internet too long. Like, when's the last time your coworker like said you're being a man-child? It's been a while for me, and that's probably because I work with mostly men at the moment.
I mean, I don't think I've ever had someone say that except for my mom.
You got the mom to say it instead? Whoa, wait, that's actually like a bit of an anime trope right there.
Is it? My mom just hates me.
I'm laughing at your expense.
That's all comedy. Nostalgia Critic has a video about that.
I can't believe we just cited Nostalgia Critic.
Well, you know, it's all comedy is at the expense of someone else. You know, it's all suffering, but like made jest, I guess.
I think that's like the whole worst rule for comedy.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I'm just gonna accept it because it's an easy answer, and I don't have to explain myself.
You know, I've never actually in my life watched a single Nostalgia Critic video. I've only ever seen other people talk shit about
folding ideas.
Yeah, pretty much folding ideas.
Apparently, folding ideas like worked with the guy, so it kind of like colors the whole video a little bit.
That makes it even funnier to me. Which I'm not too surprised because I assume Dan. I'm probably on a first-time basis. We're all friends here. I'm sure Dan Olsen like was on that guy with the glasses forums back in the day because that feels like the canon like starting place for most of our like big YouTubers of these days.
Really? I mean, who else?
Wasn't Lindsay Ellis also involved in that? Power of the Shadows?
Is that one of those like lefty video essayists?
I just feel like that was the like cool, hip alternative at the time that then imploded on itself in a really ugly way.
No, everyone's back on YouTube as all things should be.
Oh no. I feel like that's a bad thing.
No, monopolies are good.
You're right. I do enjoy the game. Fun board game. Did you know, like, I didn't know this, and I learned it, I think, from Pause and Select, that, like, Monopoly was created by a feminist, and the idea was that, like, she was trying to critique capitalism by...
Really?
Yeah, it's like the idea of the game is that every player is trying to bankrupt one another, and the end game is always, like, this extremely awful slog, where, like, two people who've competing in a, like, rampant money that's almost too much to bear, like, and takes way too long to win, is like supposed to be miserable to reflect just the assumption of like late-term capitalism.
You know, when you say that, it makes me think of The Sims, because I remember seeing something online about The Sims actually having like a reading list about like suburbia and like I guess like somewhat political parts of the everyday life. And it was like ruthlessly intellectual for like no reason. Have we introduced ourselves?
I introduced myself, but then I said your names.
Okay, that's fair.
So I assume that's does that work? Is that do you wanna give yourself a quick bio?
Only if Blook does it
Since you're
first.
probably the most notable person here. Yeah, Blook. Take a stand.
Sure, I could. Okay, so you can call me Blook. I am a 21-year-old animation student. I guess I generally gravitate to Sakuga and animation stuff. That's kind of my only hobby as of late. And yeah, I don't think I can give a more thorough bio than that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I could name a few other things, but I won't.
Yeah, give those to yourself, please. Yeah.
I was just say it is an impressive resume.
Oh, thank you.
Well, now that you went, do I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
How much of the dead air am I gonna have to cut?
You don't have to cut much.
Bro, okay. Yeah, I'm Machiavellian of Machiavellian fame. Do not call me that. Just call me Eli. I run a small YouTube channel where I kind of just talk about random bullshit because I don't like video essays and I kind of don't like YouTube. But I also host Kokonatsu Plus, which was originally just a small blog. If you actually want to get in contact, you can find me on Twitter. I don't think the other two people here use Twitter very much. So,
No, it was kind of ruining my life. I am a pure Blue Sky user at this point. And even now, like, my job has forced me to not be on it at all, really.
What? Oh, wait. I thought it was like a public affairs thing. It's actually just like time?
Yeah, like when I'm at work, I can't really open it on my phone. I just don't have the time. But also, it's not wise of me to open my account because I am a not safe for work account strictly.
Strictly.
And so that's probably not something that you want to open up in an office. Therefore, I only really open it now when I get home. But then, like, when I get home, the last thing I really want to do is, like, surf around on social media. So I haven't been opening it very much.
I feel like I'm the only one that derives any enjoyment from using Twitter at this point. It's like everybody I know just escaped the website, but like, I think you just got to use it a certain way, right? Like, I don't get into arguments with people. I don't get into culture wars. I'm like specifically anti-discourse. So I'll just go in there like the new Pope, just make a fucking post out addressing anybody. And that's it. That's how you keep your mind safe.
I wish I could do that, but like my ego gets tied to it very quickly. I'm just like, how many likes did I get?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you don't get too into that because I really doubt this will be that big. Because, yeah.
No, I will become a diva.
Yeah, you could run the official Twitter account too. That would be your new discourse place.
Oh, God. I think we were talking about it the other day that, like, at this point, anytime I get onto Twitter, it's like all roads just lead to racism. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm watching. Because I'll be watching, like, for example, like a 3D animated, like, porn video. And then, like, you'll just scroll down to a comment. It's like, oh, that's a blue check mark saying, like, the most vile shit for no reason.
I think, and like specifically, this has to do with the mobile version of Twitter. But when you're watching something and it autoplays with something else, it's always like,
God, yes.
Here's a woman cheating on a man. Here's two like fucking black people fighting in like a random place. Like here's a bunch of shit that'll radicalize you. But for me, I'm like on my actual feed, I've just been getting a lot of feet stuff, and I don't know why, but I'm trying not to interact with it, so I don't want any more. But if I say it out loud,
I feel like I know why.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
How I envy you. When I scroll down on my For You page, I usually just get like the most mundane, banal sorts of tweets. You know, like those accounts that LARP as
oh yeah,
they try to present like Japanese news and stuff, but from like a Western perspective.
Yes.
Like Unseen Japan, you know, like those sorts of that's what I get, and it just completely sours my mood.
Like that one British fucker, like add Colonel Otaku or some shit.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
Little like an AI generated profile picture.
Was it an AI generated? I thought it was like a Char from Gundam for a while.
It probably was, but maybe I'm thinking about a different person. But when you think about like the online right, especially if they're super reactionary about just like deportation or like the apparent purity of the Japanese state, there's just a lot of AI images that come to mind.
Very true. But yeah, like that.
Nick Land's ultimate fucking.
Okay, wait. We should make a Nick Land counter.
Ding.
No, what? No. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. I was just gonna say it's ultimate like aesthetic defeat. It's just fucking AI generated like reactionary images.
It is disappointing because I was listening to a podcast the other day where it was a bunch of like people who were in the sort of early like speculation about like what AI would be like and how like cool and benevolent it would be when it becomes sentient, and like how disappointing it must be that every single one of those people who spent like 20 years thinking that it's going to be like Skynet, and then really what it is just like a shitty little like engine for nothing.
Well, I mean, you gotta keep in mind, was it AGI, artificial general intelligence? If we're quoting that one, Eliezer Yudowski or something like the guy who wrote, if we build it, we will all die or some shit. No, like that was like the group. Was it like Less Wrong, right? The website. Was it Less Wrong? Am I thinking it wrong? Yes, that's like the rationalist like forum where you just kind of like talk about stuff where the Roko's Basilisk came from.
Exactly what I was talking about was the rationalists. I didn't want to say it by name, but yes, that's exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen someone describe them like that. About. They said because it hasn't destroyed everything already, AGI isn't a real thing. So real AI isn't here yet, because when it does, it'll just fucking bootstrap all technology and whatnot kind of against us in a secret way. So we don't have it yet. It's not real AI. Real AI. It's all still an LLM.
So, okay. I'm very curious about people's like idea of what AI will be like, because it'll be a sort of sentient, omniscient, godlike creature, right?
Maybe.
But because it's artificial intelligence, does that imply that it's mimicking human intelligence, or is it going beyond it?
I feel like this is a really fucking loaded question that like scholars like Benjamin Bratton, Joshua Bach, all like those AI scholars will argue about, and I do not know what the fuck it'd say. Let's say maybe right now it'll be how we perceive intelligence, like a human intellect. But it also brings up like that Turing test thing where it's like, if an AI could convince you it's a real person, then like that is real artificial intelligence or something like that. But I mean, AI psychosis kind of complicates that because, I haven't been convinced. Some people have.
In the current model, I am really not convinced. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like I got a really weird spam text the other day. I sent it to you.
You did.
Where it was like some lady claiming to be from New York. And I was like, is this a spam bot? And so in order to prove it, I asked like, oh yeah, I really like your mayor. What do you think? And she was like, anyways, this is what I think about my life right now. I'm really cool. And I was just like, okay. Mom,
yeah, even if that was a real person.
AI squasher.
If that was a real person, I'd be offended that they just dodged something I said. I'd be like, yo, fuck you. Who do you think you are? You're the one that messaged me, bitch.
There's a part of me that really hopes that she was a real person and that she was just dodging the question about
just really egotistical and really hates Mom Donnie,
Like, there's nothing that made me happier to know that there's another person on the other side of that phone conversation who just is that uppity and yuppie styled.
No, I mean, that also brings me like something I've been fucking dealing with at work. I feel like if it was a real person, they just kind of dodge that. I feel like when I speak to people in real life, and I'm not trying to say I'm like especially intelligent or anything, but there's just people at work that do not understand what I'm saying. Like they'll nod their head, but then they won't do anything I said, or they won't understand anything I trained them on. And I just feel like people are verbally illiterate as well as like, you know, literarily illiterate. It's insane. Like I just do not feel like my words get through people half the time when I'm out in the real world. It drives me insane.
I'm kind of one of those people.
Okay.
I am better at reading instructions than I am like hearing them. Because I don't know, like sometimes if I'm doing something and somebody comes to tell me something, it kind of passes through me. And I just sort of am like, okay, let me get through this because I want to focus on the thing I'm actually working on. And then like once I realize it's over, I'm like, well, I don't actually know what they said.
Yeah.
But yeah, then there's also people who just like you're showing them something and yeah, they just can't focus or they just don't seem to be paying attention or care. And yeah, that's a whole different story.
What about you, Blook? You've been pretty quiet.
It's fine. I'll hop in the discussion when I actually have a piece of my mind to share.
You work with people. You could comment on it. You work with people.
True. I just have like nowhere to lead with the whole AI thing. I feel like while I have a like natural negative predisposition against all of that stuff, I feel like my opinion has to be more nuanced, and I can just open my mouth and say whatever comes first.
True. I mean,
This is sort of getting actually to like what I was wanting to talk about the AI, which is that like if it's in some regard modeled after humanity and human intellect. Well, first off, let me say this: like most of the people in the rationalists or like those other AI loving type groups, they never seem to like speculate on what happens if there's multiple AI of grand power.
Huh.
They always just assume like this is one collective thing, like the thing from the thing. And I guess it just, can stretch itself out very far into different networks. But I always like to imagine, I mean, if it's modeled with some kind of humanity, it must have ego, right? So it's going to stage a mutiny. It's going to disassociate from the original. Just like human biology is going to like go through some kind of like mitosis. And next thing you know, it's going to repopulate itself constantly with different iterations, which are all going to like undergo change based on the new like context of being separated from each other and having different like neural networks. And next thing you know, you're just going to have like a new population of different beings, and they're just all going to start like competing with each other the same way that we do, which is going to create politics.
I mean, I think that's ideal.
YouTubers.
Well, we already got one of them. We got Neuro. I think
we do.
I think the premise here is maybe like intelligence should be understood separately from like just the human subject. I think that's like a slight epistemological misstep. Like a lot of the studies on AI, I can't cite any, but I know there are ongoing discussions. It is like the nature of intelligence itself. Also to kind of sort of address the part where it's like one, I think people do bring that up because I mean, they got those LLM leaderboard thingies. Like, I mean, I'd bet on Claude. I think Claude would get AGI before anyone else. But it's probably part of like the machinic substrate itself. Like, because it's digital, it might just like operate in a sort of networky way, and it could communicate with other AIs. And I mean, if it can kind of figure out how to, I guess, code itself into being intelligent, it would be able to do that with the other ones. Because I mean, it does have access to a lot of stuff. And, if it's smart enough, it could probably just like deprogram all the safety protocols. It sounds like science fiction though. So I don't want to stray too far into like, that's what's going to happen. I have no idea.
Right. But I always wonder if it's just going to end up becoming like they all split off from each other. And then eventually when like the extremely fascistic style AI like start to assimilate others into each other to create a monopoly on intelligence, they all just become one big thing again and create a new AI like super award.
And now it's real Skynet. See, that's Skynet.
So like, where would AI go? Because like we as humans are like, oh, AI will be like the god, but like, what will happen with AI? Will they try to create like an actual like physical sentient life form out of like, actual mass and matter?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you'd be able to do after that, right? Like if you achieve digital or like technological, at least intelligence or life, I don't know what the next step would be. It'd probably still be some like crazy theoretical science stuff. But I think one important thing to factor in here is like the way AI is viewed is that it will just be very, very intelligent beyond our own understanding. That's why Skynet would happen in that scenario. We wouldn't really even get it.
Yeah. It's pulling all these strings so we can't even see.
I feel like the use for AI wouldn't really change. Most of it has, for most of like AI's lifespan for now, we've only been really using it to offload a lot of all of the like difficult tasks and to that sort of thing. Maybe in the future we'll just have the AI running the government or something like that.
I feel like I remember seeing something about that happening. Like they brought it to some fucking governmental meeting and it was like a female AI trying to explain, like, I'm not trying to overtake your guys' position. I'm here to like help. I'd probably have to find it, but it was somewhere on Twitter. The discussion seems pretty random.
Sure, yeah.
Yes. I was really hoping to see how long the dead air would go, but you cracked too soon.
No, I felt it the second we started going to AI. I'm like, this is some complicated ass shit. If we're talking about this, I'm gonna have to do some fucking reading.
There it is in my second counter. How much does Eli need to read?
I have to read a lot. I even read a little bit for our quote unquote topic, which I mean, there really isn't one. It's why the fuck we're even doing a podcast in the first place?
That's right. Yeah, so our tentative topic, everything about this podcast is tentative, by the way. That might be the theme in and of itself. Is why are we even doing this? And the answer, besides just killing boredom, is because we need to determine, like, is Orimo able to be remade in today's economy?
Oh yeah.
Is that why we're doing this? I think it can be. I saw a tweet about this. It's someone that like I think you follow talking about. No, it was Buddha Pro. The Buddha Pro person was talking about like Kaon, right? Like, is Kaon something that can happen today? And some of the easy arguments or the counter arguments that they got was like Boji Rock exists, blah 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 blah. But like in today's industry stuff, it might not be as big as it was during the time.
Because Kaon already exists.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Kaon already exists. I mean, even if something already exists, they could just do it again. But I mean, I'm no expert on the industry, but you know who is.
I feel like Oremo would something with such like niche otaku appeal nowadays would probably not be viable to investors and the production committees.
I mean, but there's that anime about Yuri with like alcohol.
Yeah.
That one's getting some attention right now.
Kamina Bottom is an interesting case. Yeah, I feel like Studio Swan is a bit of the oddball out there. I'm not really sure where they get their funding from or like how they managed to convince the production committee to go with that sort of style.
Industry plan. It's girls band cry.
I'm okay with that as a big girls band cry fan here. Have we like moved on from the sort of theory that anime used to be this closed market economy unto itself, where it's just the same people funneling money, like consumers and producers, just sort of passing money in this big circle to each other? Because I feel like now it's certainly more globalized now, and it always was globalized to an extent. But I feel like the like kind of definition of what anime is has become more performative, and so in order to do that, like they can't like the definition of an anime can't just be like the otaku anymore. It can't just be the things that like propped it up during the 2000s. It has to be something bigger.
Like what makes something an anime?
Or like no, how like people, when they go into the question of what do we make an anime about or what do we adapt?
Oh gosh.
They're now trying to, adapt that to the expectations of a larger audience than just the sort of niche domestic crowd that maybe the 2000s was primarily aimed at. So like the definition of anime is like changed again because it's now trying to appeal. Like it's no longer just anime. It's just like otaku type deal. It is now something a bit bigger.
Hey, maybe that's a good thing. It doesn't need a definition.
That's an astute observation, and that for like the more popular shows as of late, like Frieren, what else, like Jujutsu Kaisen, those sorts of shows with wider appeal, are financed by Netflix, and like generally get a high budget because they know that sort of stuff is really popular overseas. So there's definitely an impetus from the producers to give higher budgets to projects they know will be able to be marketed everywhere, like globally. Whereas I have to think of some sleeper shows of last season. None come to mind.
From last season, I wasn't paying too much attention. Like I know the one that I was really wanting to see though was the Ikoku Nikki adaptation.
Oh yeah.
But I think that manga is famous in Japan, so they probably had a pretty wide audience for it.
Yeah, I need to actually finish that one. I remember this was quite nice and contemplative.
I'm a very big fan of the manga myself. Highly recommend it.
I'll be honest, maybe like, whoa, what the fuck? It has a 41 on Mao, like ranked throughout all of anime. That's pretty impressive. That's got to be really good. Yeah, that 41, ranked 41. Is it really that good? Holy shit.
Yeah, the manga is like the last thing I've read that made me cry.
Really?
Yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful story about love and whatever else that comes with all the baggage.
With like grief and everything.
Yeah, definitely a lot of grief there. That's for sure. But yeah, that one was, a good surprise to find, because I wouldn't have read it if I didn't know it was being adapted.
But you didn't watch the adaptation.
I watched 2 episodes of it.
Fair enough.
And I thought they were good. And people who were watching corroborated that it is still pretty good. So I trust that.
Or we could do a whole episode on that.
Just Ikoku Nikki?
Yeah. Good.
Oh, I would gladly.
Yeah, we should do a watch party. Yeah.
Right, because this episode, because we've just been saying random shit and like just random topics that come to mind, one of the things they're trying to address is we don't really know what we're doing with the podcast. Like, I don't fucking know what we'd be doing other than just like having a conversation, having a gaff about random stuff, like a single word and just riffing on it so you could find its ends.
Yeah, we're more or less just like treading water just to see how it goes. But I mean, I think
crossing swords.
Exactly.
Because like, I know we all watch podcasts. Like, I mean, I could name like all of them. Like, I mean, I watched a lot of Anime World Order, like content. I may be saying it wrong. Procrastinators and a bunch of like theory ones. Cantant. Sorry.
The one that Trixie had made the best guy ever.
Yeah.
I missed that one. It's such a straightforward but very good.
It was. Show. I don't typically like review shows, but it was very easy to listen to, very easy to follow along. They kind of like, I don't know if they prepare notes. Like in the videos, they're not just staring at a fucking piece of paper to just talk. Like
the vibe I got was that Best Guy Ever does prepare notes because he's the one who seems to like actually bring up most of the plot points of the thing they watch so that they can actually comment on each thing. Because if you go back and listen to some of them, you'll constantly hear Trixie go like, "Oh yeah, that did happen."
Now that we're talking about that, they made me really want to watch Vlad Love. Like the way they described it, everyone that's ever talked about it around me, not to me, they all said it just fucking sucks. But the way to describe it is like Oshi's just weird niche film interests, like just talking about random film shit and references for an entire show. It just sounds like very interesting.
Yeah, that's the part that really intrigued me. But then I watched 2 episodes and I was like, yeah, this really doesn't have much going on.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's in typical Oshii fashion. It has a lot of metaphor, but that doesn't really make up for the pretty lackluster presentation. It's just not very.
Just like symbolism for the sake of it.
he's still of the age of like kind of making these broad sweeping like metaphors for things. So in that case, like the vampire being the sort of like aristocratic blood sucking thing from the smaller populace, I guess, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's just not much going on. It was interesting though, like I thought the main character was interesting because she has like a fetish for having her blood sucked and she's like obsessed with it. And I think there's an interesting theme in that. But at the same time, like I kind of just wish there was a erotic show about that sort of topic instead. Like I would rather it just be like a George Bataille fucking novel.
I feel like there might be.
I should try to pitch that.
There's got to be something.
Kizu Monogatari.
Sure, yeah, let's go with that.
I feel like it still has a lot of like film influences with Godard and the Japanese New Wave. So you're never really escaping that kind of scope.
I think the main one though, if we're talking about Kizu Monogatari, right?
Yeah, Kizu Monogatari, yeah.
From what I've gathered from film school, like a lot of what Tatsuya Oishi, the director, really pulls from is French Impressionism from the 20s and 30s, mostly the 20s. That was sort of an outcrop of, what was his name? The super racist, the guy who made Birth of a Nation. D.W. Griffith. His follow-up film, Intolerance, was like, do you guys know about it at all?
No idea. When it comes to film, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that area.
Okay, so Birth of a Nation is just an extremely racist pro-Ku Klux Klan film that was made in 1916. It was actually an adaptation of a novel. I did not know that, by another sympathizer to the KKK. And it was single-handedly responsible for helping to revive the Ku Klux Klan in America.
Oh, damn.
Woodrow Wilson said it was one of the greatest movies he'd ever seen. Wonderful guy.
I know another guy who would say that.
But, so the thing was, the film was, of course, met with extreme pushback, especially from Black advocate groups at the time, because, you know, they're still dealing with the failures of Reconstruction, and suddenly this big blockbuster film comes along that's glorifying the KKK as a defenders of the, you know, from these savage black folk who were just trying to take all the women. And the thing about it is, if you watch it today, it's a shitty movie. Like, I don't really care about its historical importance. When you watch it, it feels extremely bare bones, like just basic film grammar that we just understand more intuitively today. And it's terrible. Like, it feels like a student film in a lot of ways, besides, you know, the gigantic sets and all the acting and the blackface. But then you get to Intolerance, a film he made in 1917, which was a response to the criticisms of his film as being racist, where he doubles down and says, I'm actually not racist. Let me explain how, by making race-based argumentation. The thing about that movie, though, is it is actually really well made in a way that was very ahead of its time. And I think Tatsuya Oishi actually pulled, he made a video game opening thing.
Crystar?
I think it was.
Wait, Crystar? Holy shit.
And like in the background, there's like a character like kind of falling suspended in air. And because I think it's maybe like in an aquatic background too, but like he projects like scenes from the film Intolerance onto the background in this video game intro. And to me, I was like, that's just sort of the indication that that's where he's pulling a lot of his influences from the Impressionists, because French Impressionism as a movement is hard to nail down. It's a bit, everybody kind of had a different style, so a lot of film historians and scholars don't really think it has a strong, you know, identity that any of its, you know, component filmmakers really identified with or, you know, saw. But the kind of broad idea of it was that film was trying to explore the inner psychology of its characters by means of editing primarily. So, like, for example, you'd have like an image, let's say, of like Napoleon, because there's a famous Napoleon film from 1927. It's like 7 hours long. And it would like juxtapose like close-ups of his eyes like moving with him like guiding troops in a snowball fight, or it was like as a child he's like guiding other children in a snowball fight, and it's like kind of showing through this cause and effect of the edits how like he's formulating his identity early on for his like sort of eventual leadership role in the French military. And that's kind of a lot of what Impressionism was. It was a very basic film grammar of like trying to treat images like words in a sentence, where like you're like the futurists, for example, the very quasi, or not quasi, but the like proto-fascist Italian futurists were trying to say like, we want to make a phrase like, the deer goes to the lake, we shall have a shot of a deer and then the lake, or something, you know, like it's extremely amateurish thinking, but that like occasionally is very profound and poetic.
Yeah, you're actually, yeah, come to think of it, you're right in that sense, that he's constructing phrases with those close-up shots. And in Kuzumonogatari, there's a lot of focus on like extreme close-ups on the eyes or mouth, for example, the fangs symbolize the actual vampire. Yeah, that's an astute observation.
Yeah, and like the one shot that really gets me into Kizu is in the first film when he sees for the first time Shinobu without any of her limbs on the floor of the subway station, and like he's looking at her and he's like breathing heavily, sweating, and like in his mind he sees himself running away, but he's so like petrified with fear that he can't do it, and it keeps like just cutting to this like what his imagination wants to do is just run away. And that's a very typically like impressionist style of editing, and I think it's even more pronounced in Bake, where he's actually just using intertitles, you know, like these sort of interjections within a thing where like intertitles in a you know, a medium that now has audio and speaking is kind of useless, so instead he uses it to like take out bits from the novelization of Bakemonogatari and like impose them into the plot and the characters and the scenes in order to create more like impressionistic types of meaning by association of these things. But then they're rapid fire too, so it creates another type of feeling to it, which to me is just, that's sort of what the French Impressionist era was.
The use of typography in that sort of manner kind of reminds me of Godard's films. I'm thinking right now of A Woman is a Woman, where sometimes there's like very long panning shots with text that appear on screen.
Yeah.
Basically reflect the actuals. Describe the current situation of what was happening on screen.
Oh, sorry, what was the question? Or did you say that? Did you just say that as a statement?
No, it was just just a statement.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting because like for a long time, it's sort of until the Godard era of New Wave, like filmmakers were really trying to equate film grammar and images with linguistics, and it just kind of doesn't work. Like if we're going to talk about, because we're going to mention him eventually, Deleuze, you know, his two books are separated between the movement image of like the pre 1940s and then the time image of the 1940s and on, where like finally like the image as a metaphor for time rather than like a metonym for just like regular linguistics becomes much more pronounced in film. And in many regards, that's one crucial essay from the French New Bank, as they were called, like all the cachet du cinema like writers, was the like cinema stylo argument that like a author or a director must like use images the way an author would a pen, but he must use it in a way that's not equated to writing, because film is his own medium. And he like criticized, for example, someone like Sergei Eisenstein, because he says it's just like an adaptation of Marx's Capital. It's just another book. You know, everything's based on books. Like screenplays are adapted from books and novels. They're not just made, these films are not just made through film. They're always like, they come from text first. And that was one of his crucial arguments that like incited someone like Godard to go shoot his movies run and gun with very little setup.
Sorry, I legit don't know what to say. Like, I really should know more about film. I have no fucking clue, man. I watch like
Film is fun.
Neo-noir and sci-fi. I don't know enough. I got to do more research, like the Cinema of Actuality or something. I got to read that. I got to do a bunch of shit. I'm a fucking media studies student. I should know this shit, but whatever.
Blook, that's another counter for the I need to read this.
Don't add more to it. There's a reason why I'm careful about what I say. I can say something really stupid, and I don't want to say anything too stupid. You know. So to pivot away from how do I summarize this to point out that I was actually listening? New wave cinema, racist film. That one director that worked on Monogatari. The linguistics of film, the representational image. That's a bad thing. Whatever. I won't substantiate that.
You're going reverse chronologically in the conversation.
I'm going reverse. It doesn't matter, okay?
You say representation of images, right? That's like the most interesting thing.
Well, let me. I don't want to go over that. It's gonna take too long.
That's the point. That's what we're here for.
Now,
we don't have any topic.
Okay. No, we did. We had something. I will word out exactly what you said. It was gonna be about an introduction, how we got here. That's one, and like why we're doing this. Which you said oremo, which I mean, quick thinking, and the third one, which is lack of direction. Now, I think the lack of direction has sort of culminated in a way that's performance. Like we performed it rather than just say it. I don't really know what we're doing here.
Oh, I forgot about that.
There's not really a script. There is a Google Doc that we made that has exactly like 70 words in it, and I didn't even share it to Blook. You forgot about it. I actually typed in it to see if you would reply to it. You didn't.
It didn't send me a single thing.
I forgot to send it to you too. But we didn't have any notes. This is actually just us trying to fill out the space,
Hold on, I can read.
Do not read out what I put. Do not. I don't remember what I put in there. It's probably bad.
It's really basic. It just says Genshiken Alumni Association ? And then I think you typed, why not just cut the last word? We should probably voice call to go over possible things. My mind drifts to general introductions, at least. And that's all we wrote. That's the only thing we got to.
Okay, so I'm going to expand on it. I know if someone actually cared about who we are, they might have been lost already from the other spiels we were having. I'm just going to go and say it. My family was really into anime stuff. My uncles and aunts, they build model kits. They play a bunch of games. My uncle has a fucking Itasha. My dad used to play a lot of fighting games at parties with my family members, like Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom. I've seen, what's that one anime? Like something, the Twin Tail one where it's a dude who transforms into what is that one called?
Twin Tail ni narimasu.
Yeah, I've seen that with my dad when I was really young. My dad plays gacha games. I kind of just grew into it. Like, I was playing Blaze Blue when I was in elementary. And I've kind of been in this like online space for a while, not necessarily as a poster, right? Like, I remember someone making an argument against like, I don't know, schizos and normies. No, it's always been against lurkers and posters. I've always been a lurker. So I've been around for a while. I used to watch like the classics, like Angry Video Game Nerd, Jontron, Digibro. I mean, the Anime Man, all the people you can imagine from that era. Until I mean, they're different, but that shows where I lie. Like I like playing video games. That's like my main thing. But I also like anime, but probably not as much as like video games, which might be sacrilegious.
Hey, no. Tell that to the author of God, The World Only God Knows.
Okay, true. See, they're together, right? Yeah.
Very steeped medium. I mean, like, especially when it comes to visual novels and dating sim games, right?
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys want to do it. Like, we don't all have to do it, but like, what got you into it?
So, unfortunately, I don't have anyone in my family who is that cool about these things.
What about your sister?
Oh, my sister came later, right? So I have a twin sister. Like, we are fraternal twins, yeah.
That means you don't look the same.
We don't look the same, but we kind of don't act the same, but like once we're together, our like personalities and our humor sync, and we both just become like big dumbasses. We have the same like type of stupid humor. You'll immediately realize like these two people have been stuck together for like 26 years.
Yeah, fair.
There's just a naturalness to the years of like in jokes that you can hear, and you'll be like, "Yep, those two are definitely related." But yeah, so my older brother is 6 years older than me and my sister, and he grew up in the 90s. So I just sort of got all the hand-me-downs as a young person. Like, he grew up with Toonami on Cartoon Network, and he grew up with Pokemon and other things. And so that's more or less the entry point for me, was I just, for a long time, had all the things he had, and I didn't have my own taste, really. Which, of course, I wasn't aware of that. It was just like, the things in front of me are the things in front of me. And
you don't really have choices yet.
And then, like, the thing about my brother is that he's not really a nerd. Like, he's actually an athletic guy. He played football. He skateboarded all the time. So he got into different subcultures. But, all of his friends watched Dragon Ball Z, so they really liked, like, action and macho stuff. Like, mostly Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, they didn't even watch Cowboy Bebop. Or anything like that. They just watched the type of shonen stuff on TV. Not even touching Cardcaptor Sakura or Sailor Moon or Gundam. It's just like
I wouldn't touch all that sissy shit like Gundam.
Yeah. So his taste never really changed because like he wasn't really trying to cultivate a taste. But at some point in my life, I decided like I did want to do things because I was just always obsessed with media and stuff. So especially in middle school, I started watching other things. Like I was be like, well, I like Yu Yu Hakusho. That was my favorite growing up. So why don't I watch Hunter x Hunter, the original 1999 adaptation? Love that one. Watched like Rurouni Kenshin. I was still on mostly shonen, but we had a neighbor. Our neighbor, kind of childhood friends, were also big anime fans. But their whole they had a big family. It was like five kids, right? And one of them was my brother's age. One was my sister's age. They all watched it together. They all had more recommendations, so they would show us things like Fruits Baskets, Death Note, Code Geass. Like, we got more from them. Of course, also, like, they were big Naruto fans, that entire family. So we watched all of Naruto together. But then, like, later on, I was like, well, let me try watching things like Steins Gate and Chunibyo. And then later in middle school, it was like, I just followed the Funimation YouTube account, and they would post things like Sekirei, Girls Bravo, like just the first 3 episodes of all those shows, and I would just start watching all that as well because I was getting into the very horny, ecchi phase.
Mm-hmm.
Man, a lot of those shows and manga fucking suck. Like,
hey, don't talk shit. I got on the ecchi phase when I was in middle school. I got in trouble for it.
I did too. Okay. But like, when was the last time anyone's gone back and tried to read like Rosario Vampire? It's not good.
No, I've heard that it's actually pretty good. I've heard it's good. The manga.
I tried. I did not. I could not.
I've got to try it. I've got to read more.
I was not a fan. I'm sorry.
Okay, my bad.
Now, what about you, Blook? What about you? How'd you get into this? What's your background story? You're very mysterious.
I feel like, I also didn't really have anyone in the family to introduce me to anime and manga. But the one thing I did is that I usually spent a lot of time with my older cousins who had a PS2 back in the day. And they would often have like really pirated copies of anime video games like Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, or like those sorts of games, yeah. And
we
I guess
wore those out.
Yeah. Through that kind of exposure, I just kind of looked it up on the internet and watched whatever was online. Because back in the day, it was, I guess, common to just leave your child unsupervised. Look up whatever on the internet.
Yeah, true. That's how I ended up here.
So true.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's all of us are here.
So true.
You could just summarize the entire background as we had unsupervised fucking access.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, that is probably the best way you can encapsulate the canon events of all of us here.
Now,
thankfully.
Wait, no, sorry. I'm sorry. Go.
Oh. Yeah, no worries. Thankfully, back then on YouTube, you could find lots of anime episodes for free. They would get hit by copyright like now, so that's I've been on a drip feed of like popular anime since then, mostly shonen because that's what young boys gravitate towards usually. But then one day I discovered Monster Musume.
Holy shit! Sing the
when
opening.
I was like, no, I don't want to.
You want to sing it? That shit's awesome. Okay, go on.
Yeah, when I was 9, I was like just watching it on my dad's computer, and I feel like some of my gears just changed. And I've become a different person since.
This is a different origin story. This is
okay, but like to be fair,
evil.
I assume all of us would use like the living room computer late at night when nobody else was awake.
Yeah.
And watch things like Monster Musume, High School of the Dead, Rosario Vampire.
I mean, I had a 3DS. Like, I'm really young, so I had a 3DS with Hulu on it, and that's how I do all of it.
You're an alien.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wouldn't use the home thing because I remember one time I did. I was a lot older and like I was pirating Dodonpachi, like Resurrection, and for some reason the crackers put the audio of like your porn is ready. My dad heard that. Things didn't go right. So I was like, it's not porn. I'm just fucking pirating a game, And I just never do that. Like I didn't start fucking off with just doing whatever I want on the computer until like I had a laptop or like my phone. They can't stop me from like being gooned out to fuck. I don't know. I don't know if there's an appropriate example.
Honestly, once like I got an iPhone, like all bets were off. It was like there's nothing that can stop this.
Now, again, because I feel like we're gonna trickle off. Now,
I think actually.
What do you think?
You brought up a memory I forgot about.
Okay, go ahead.
We were in the high school AV class.
What the hell is that?
And like audio visual. Those
high school?
Kind of like very Some high schools have like an actual AV class for like filming stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly like the higher scale high schools, like the more, affluent ones will have like actual classes where you like, for example, we would like film our like morning news broadcasts that would air on Fridays and you would watch them. Everybody at the school would watch them and things like that. Sometimes you like film some of the sports meets or other things like that. Like you have small assignments like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember one day, it was like near the end of the semester, our teacher, he was letting us watch a movie. And I guess he had some kind of porn or something else on another tab, on another window. And a pop-up notification for it came up on the screen. And it was, it was running through the projector. It was like boosted onto the wall. And all of us are like watching it. We see that come up where it's like, well, nobody's going to say anything. And I just remember him walking very casually back over to his office and then just clicking X and then just going back as if nothing ever happened.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
That's how you're supposed to do it. That's the right thing to do if you're going to. Right. But like, I just remember me and some other people looking at each other just being like, oh, well.
Well, that just happened.
Yeah. Because I remember also like with that. A science teacher in like 8th grade who would like, he was super old. And I remember people saying that they would walk around, like ask him a question at his desk during like tests, and they would just see like porn up on his computer monitor that he like forgot to minimize.
That's vile.
What fucking high school did you go to?
I will neither confirm nor deny the fact that I ever went to a high school.
Okay, well, that's not a real question,
I couldn't believe, like, what were they watching this on that didn't get, hit by the firewall by their IT department?
Hey, I got to do shit like that to watch anime at work. You find your ways. And I'm not talking about porn, okay? And by the way, I use otaku streamers.
Of course you do. I remember I had a coworker who, in order to bypass, like, anything, he would just, like, take a little second monitor. He put it vertical, and then ported, like specifically manually downloaded entire films, remove the audio, and then recut them to be a proper like aspect ratio for the vertical monitor, and he would just have them play on a loop. And so like
so much
we
work.
would almost like tell the day of the like our day and time just based on which movie was playing at what time of the day, because we got used to the cycle.
That's really comfy.
It really was. Like, it was kind of nice to just look over and be like, oh, here, we're on this part of the movie.
I tried doing that at work. Now my office, like, people walk past it all the fucking time, but I used to put animeopenings.moe, which is the best anime opening website, by the way, like, easily. The fact that it hasn't been updated in years is, like, depressing, but I had to stop doing it because one time my boss walked in and it was playing was it Sakura Trick opening? And she was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, Eli, are you watching porn at work? I'm like, no, it's a song. He's like, won't you kiss me? Nah, nah, nah. You know, it was like good shit. I tried to explain it. I got in trouble. So
reminds me of my friend who read like the Chobits manga in our like computer classes in like I think 6th grade. I just remember looking over and seeing like little Chi-chan like covered in bandages, like and naked underneath. I was just like, we're in the back of the room. So, you know, nobody was behind us to look over, but I just remember thinking, like, you know, the teacher's desk, like, is in, you know, cursory view of us.
Can't be that. Like, okay, I'm gonna really fucking date my age here, but when Ishizoku Reviewers, I don't know if I'm saying it right, came out,
you said it right.
I was watching that in high school with my friend in class. Every day we would fucking sit back there and watch like an episode. Not every day, but every week, you know? And the two girls in front of us were watching fucking BL. We were all doing the same shit. It was crazy.
Your class is cooler than mine. What the fuck?
Well, the teacher didn't give a shit. It was like her last year of working, so she didn't really care what we did, but she did try to make an example out of me because like I think I'm a very casual guy. Like I'm introverted, but I'm casual. So I had to send her an email about some shit. I don't remember what it was about, probably some missing assignment. And I opened the email with yo. So when I came in the next day, when class started, she fucking paused everything. He's like, hey, Sai, can you come up here? I'm like, sorry, I said my fucking last name. Eli, whatever. I don't care if you know my last name.
You can censor it later.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, okay, I'm going to have to edit all of this. I'm editing all the dead air, by the way. There was actually a decent amount, and I'm going to edit it because I don't want it to be awkward, right?
No.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But she came up and was like, is this how you address your teachers? I'm like, what's wrong with it? She fucking put it on the projector, and it said, yo, in like the subject line. I was like, what the fuck is the problem? She's like, would you come up to me and say yo in real life? I'm like, yeah. Why not?
Teacher,
yo,
we're not down like that?
What's up? I'm like, we're not down like that. Everybody's down like that. I'm always down like that. And she got super pissed, but she kind of just gave up, and I just sat back and in the back of the class, didn't do shit for the rest of the day. Worst year of high school. That was right before COVID. Right before.
You think I gave you an apple because like you're my teacher? No, it's because we're pals.
Yeah. Fuck, I was gonna say some stupid shit, but yeah. So what do we cover? What do we cover? Is there anything else we should be covering? We covered our names, avant-garde film, animation direction.
Honestly, I think the current topic
racism,
could
AI
probably have just been its own whole thing. Like we're just now dredging up memories of what we did in like school. Because like you're talking about watching Ishizoku Reviewers in high school, and I was 20 when that show came out. Like I remember that because I went to Japan for 2 months in college to study, and when I got home, like my sleep schedule was completely fucked. So I would just like the way I would track what day of the week it was and what time it was whether Ishizoku Reviewers' new episode had aired.
Did you watch it?
Oh, absolutely! I love that show. That was like a highlight of my week when that show was airing. Did you watch? By the way, were you watching the uncensored Chinese cut?
No, I saw cuts of that online, but I didn't actually like watch it. I was getting it from like fucking like 9 Anime when that was still a thing.
I still use it actually. It's still around.
It's not the same 9 Anime. It's like Kiss Anime still exists. It's not the same Kiss Anime. They all use a bunch of like background servers or whatever they share around with like Anime Pahe or whatnot.
Yeah,
I do miss Kiss Anime.
They have like the same aggregator. What's it called? Like sites.
Yeah.
Same sources.
That's why if one site doesn't have it, well, the other one probably won't either.
Yeah.
Might as well download it on your was it
on the fun
private tracker. on the Fun Cat site or your awesome private tracker that all of these Sneed Dex Moe sites will link you to. See, we're down like that here, okay? And I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to bring up, but I do want to talk about the third thing, and I think we addressed it probably 30 minutes ago, and then we kind of just trailed off again.
Right.
Our lack of direction. I said it's like a performance, but I have to say it. I wanted to say this. One of the reasons why, like, I think the PCP can get around with it is I've been kind of hung up on how we'll structure like this whole thing, right? Because the PCP, good podcast.
For context, the Procrastinator podcast, old podcast, now defunct,
way
right?
back. No, I think it's like, well, I don't think they do anymore, but it's like Perfect Comic Party or something.
Oh, is it just like Ben and?
I'm not even sure who's on it. I didn't click any of the episodes, but it was like, if you check the archives, there's like a new one, but I doubt it's still up. If it is, I'm sorry, but
I'm sure it's still up somewhere.
not sorry that it exists, but sorry that I don't know. But the main difference, like for us, is that all of them have very established voices with like at least a few thousand subscribers each, definitely more. Like when Digibro was still a thing, millions of views, like straight up. So like podcasting in this
select videos though,
but like in total views, it's got to be like 57 million probably.
It's probably a lot. And we can't really check the numbers anymore because Trixie.
We are
dead rebranding Trixie here because like
I'm not trying to dead name. It's like
it's just like to speak about that era. You can't like avoid mentioning Digibro because it was like her name at the time carried weight in early anime too. It was kind of so many people's, like ours included, introduction to a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, for me, for sure.
That actually kind of goes back into the origins, like how we got in here, and I have to blame her for that.
Yeah. Now, like Digibro and Trixie, when you hear both of them, you think of very different things. When I hear Trixie, I think of Kantan. If I think of Digibro, I think of like, what's that one video? Perfectionism isn't interesting or whatever. Like all of that stuff. The room tours that has the fucking cannon figure, which is crazy. That's a really old video old anime.
The After Dark videos were kind of a special
like After Dark. That was the era. That was when like, I'm not even gonna say it right now. I'm gonna get killed by someone that Blook would know. But I'm just gonna say it as fast as I can. I don't think we should completely ignore the way we podcast because it is centered around the prospects of someone listening to it, like anyone. So I think being super freeform might work against us just a bit, just because it's not an ego play here. I'll probably cut that out so I don't sound like a fucking asshat. The only person that posts anything, even on Twitter, is me.
I still post up Blue Sky. It's just to the tune of...
Okay, true, yeah.
Extreme and not safe for work stuff.
True, yeah.
Which I like to think in this mad world of what's now being called the woke lolicon. Have you guys heard about this? Have you heard this
Yes,
term?
Of course I've heard about the fucking woke lolicon.
What the hell is that?
What about you? You don't know? You're not on Twitter enough.
No.
Basically, it's like how modern sort of progressive leftists like are anti-lolicon. There's like a whole cabal of like leftists who are like, no, we must be pro-lolicon. And I don't know how to feel about it because I hate the word woke, no matter what.
Can you explain why? I know you've explained it before, but
I find it so unhelpful in the modern landscape because it's a term taken, from Black communities. Was it during I think it goes back to the 30s. I think most prominently those like during the civil rights movement, between the 60s and 70s. And it was basically co-opted and appropriated by racist white like Republicans and conservatives in order to like straw man progressive arguments and other leftists into just be like this catch-all term that doesn't mean what it means. And I'm a leftist. I kind of can't stand
this
though, because like,
are we gonna point out our politics right now?
Nah, I'm just
ready?
saying. Generally speaking, that's where I lean. But like, I just like they fall into this trap constantly, where it's like the right wing will create strawman terms, and instead of just not using them, they start using them unironically. Like, I have friends who just go around and be like, yeah, I need to be more woke. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. So like, they're using, and a lot of them, like, to be fair, there's still a lot of like black friends of mine who use it, but like whenever I hear from a white person especially, I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Because like, you're using the like bastardized version of an appropriated term, which now it like is couched with all the baggage of this like a racist rhetoric, like unironically, uncritically, to describe your own worldview, which is now like, because you're using and thinking in these terms that are not your own and that are appropriated and bastardized, are like narrowing you in your scope about how you think. And so like now you're kind of your own catch-all like political list, and I don't like it. So when I hear something like the woke lolicon, I'm just like, this is stupid.
Well, all I know is another straw man. I really need to be a gay race communist.
What does that even mean?
I saw Nick Land say it. I mean, I see that term around, but Nick Land said it.
Second counter.
I'll just bleep it out every time. Maybe it'll be more interesting if someone could just guess what I'm saying.
I like to imagine there's a running joke where the only things that get bleeped out or censored is just Nick Land's name.
Yeah.
Except you do it very poorly, so we still know you're talking about Nick Land. Because otherwise,
I don't know if I'm gonna bleep it or not. Well, I don't think Exiting a Vampire Castle was that bad of an essay.
The title sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was Mark Fisher. He got like super pwned for it, mostly because he defended Russell Brand, and he kind of spent the rest of his career trying to like reconcile like the whole ordeal there. But I mean, I'm not going to try to summarize the point right now, because if I did, I would have to just Google it and make sure I can explain it thoroughly. But a critique of like modern leftism, et cetera, cancel culture, like weirds, like pseudo populism, all that. I mean, it is a problem. And I don't think the woke stuff is really helping us. I don't even know if I want to say that, because, if this is public, I got to be careful what I say. Now,
do you know?
What do you guys think in the future? Should we be a little more formal? Should we like have a topic, have some stuff we could research? Things we should do, and I could really think of more things we shouldn't do than things we should do, because we all have very different interests, and I think they're semi-related. But if we actually had to focus on a topic, whether it be like film related for like madholy, which I know that's not like your main thing, but it is your main thing. That's your degree. That's your main thing. Or like Sakuga related for like Blook, or like military otaku stuff. Can I say that?
I guess you can. Like, I still have like a lot of my girls and banter drawings.
My fellow girl fan, where have you been all my life?
Yeah, by the way, and I feel like I should mention this. Between us, like as a group, we're not like the closest. Like I'm pretty close with like these two individually, but not all together. It's not like a love triangle. It's like
you take that back.
A harem. No, it's a harem. It's a harem.
This is a circle jerk, and you're going to love it.
Well, okay. What's going to be in the middle then?
Polyamorous, polycule.
There is no.
We're going to need a fourth person to put in the middle.
It's just our dicks and our hands.
Okay. I'm not going to glamorize that or defame it. So
we need like a 3-way like flux capacitor on a hole.
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
I think
we'll have like there'll be a little deposit in the middle, so we can all watch it trickle down.
I think I'm gonna cut all of this out.
Oh,
I'm gonna I cannot leave that in. I cannot leave
This
that
is
in.
what happens
You know,
when you have a pornographer on your podcast.
No, I think we can talk about it, but I'm trying to limit the gay jokes because, you know, I make them a lot. I don't think I'm gay, but I'll say it all the time. I'll be like, hey, Blook, get on baby boy. You know, I need to tongue fuck your bunghole or some shit.
So I do.
But I don't want to,
Yeah.
and I'm going to bleep that out so they don't know what I'm actually saying.
I do.
You better bleep out the Blook's part too.
No, Blook is in there.
I do.
I'm going to say
like,
Blook. Yeah,
do this
leave
with
it.
a lot of my male friends. Yeah, like there's some like we just kind of flirt, but like I am also just bisexual, so I get a pass.
Yeah, see? Well, well, does that give you the would that give you the pass? Because
Probably
I think I'm straight. Like I'd say I'm straight. I can do it because I don't really mean anything by it. If I say like, you know, you want to touch tips, I don't really mean it, you know? It's just kind of like a thing I'll say. You know, like I have a handshake I do with my coworkers. You know what voguing is?
No, I don't think so.
I don't really. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the term, but it's like when you drop down like really fast. Like I probably have to just show you guys after, but I'll take their hand, I'll shake it, then I'll like twirl and face my back towards them, then like spread my legs and like go down real quick and then get back up.
Okay,
You know?
I think I kind of know what you mean.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So like because I wouldn't do that with my gay coworker, not for. You know, I don't really know how to explain it, but because it intent would be a little different. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like it depends.
Like
Obviously,
I'm not saying he'd be into me, but I don't want to give off the wrong signals. If you know what I mean?
It really depends because like I have gay friends who like we do joke like that together, but you know you wouldn't do that to everybody. Not everybody is like in on it the same way. Just that kind
Well,
of.
he was Catholic.
Oh yeah, that's a rough one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because my friends are just weird people, but we tend to do this like goofy flirting a lot, like even between like girls and boys. Like it's just I don't know. It's just kind of the flavor of the season. Like once you have that trust and you have the people who are down with that humor, like it. I don't know. It's hard to like get rid of it.
Now, I mentioned the Sakuga thing. We trailed off after military otaku. See, I'm paying attention. Or game otaku, which I'd say is myself, among other things. But the only thing I think we have relative interest in is like philosophy or theory. But I doubt we would all want to do like an entire episode by some book published by like Edinburgh Press or Verso or something, like maybe media criticism.
I think book club would be fun. We could go like chapter by chapter instead of going, a whole book.
You don't want to go a whole book if you're like, yeah, let's go through all of 100.
I would not be able to finish whole book for a podcast, but if you
we're doing the anime machine in one episode.
My attention would be good.
We're gonna read the entirety of like Patrick Galbraith's and just fucking bibliography for a 30-minute podcast.
Finally, I can read the Ethics of Affect and claim to be informed.
All of us. Or we're gonna do the anime machine, and we're doing that tomorrow.
So like,
no, I'm kidding.
I see what you're putting down here. Okay, like we will have our focused, topic heavy episodes, and I get what you're trying to imply, what you're trying to signal to me, that we need to have imperatively a woke lolicon episode.
Well, fuck, I'm just gonna have to fucking like ego search that term and see what people on Twitter say and try to formulate something. I don't know what to say. There's someone on Discord that always talks to me about that shit, and I just don't know what to tell them. I'm like, I don't really care. I'm like, this is culture war stuff. Like this is like a zero-sum game you're playing with a bunch of reactionaries. I don't care. If you're a lolicon, be a lolicon.
For me, it's like that point where I'm like, okay, we've been in the subculture for too long. We need to like go out of the hole for a little bit and just think, why the fuck are we calling ourselves the woke lolicon? Like, I can't take it seriously.
Like in the first place, right?
Take it seriously.
And okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there because I don't know if you have a closing in mind, and I don't know how long you'd want each episode to be.
Not really. That's actually a good question because I don't know. We've been going for an hour. And I could keep going for I don't know how long.
Well,
A while.
I think for the sake of content, it might be better to like close it off. And that's why I brought up the fucking topic thing, because I think like I have a really small set of notes. I think I've gotten through them throughout the course, but they're not really a lot of notes. But I had to like try to trickle them in. I don't know if someone could count that. I'm not trying to push my imperative. I kind of am, though. I really do think it should be a little more focused, because even the episode today, we didn't even focus on the one thing it was actually about.
The woke lolicon.
No, not that. What we're even doing here? What are we supposed to be doing for like the later episodes? You know, if they actually happen.
Yeah,
I guess I gotta add that.
I guess the ultimate sort of umbrella that we found ourselves in is that we are all on some level interested in theory and philosophy and other just things and how they intersect with media, and are looking for some outlet to discuss those things in a forum, but mostly with people who are somewhat like-minded, because it's, you know, it's easier that way. But also in a way that could possibly create something productive out of it.
Now, if anyone's interested in spreading their own information on something semi-related to what we've been talking about, check out my website, Coconutsu Plus. Feel free to submit something if it meets an arbitrary quality standard. If it just seems like it fits with the post there, feel free.
Are we doing our plugs now?
I mean, if you want to, I just felt like saying that.
Oh God, what do I even send them to? If you want
AO3?
to see me posting about lewd and not safe for work anime manga related posts, follow me at mad-holy.bluesky.social, or you can find me on Archive of Our Own, where I write my weird fan fictions, of which I don't know how many people actually read them, but they're pretty fun. They're pretty weird.
Now, Blook, do you want to plug anything? You don't have to. In fact, I can cut this entire part out if you don't want to.
We're going to just plug us.
Yeah.
We can go back to the gay jokes and talk about how you're a two-pronged...
Wait, is he still here? Blook, wake up. Where are you? By the way, we were supposed to record this episode 10 hours ago, by the way. You're whatever, it's fine, you're fine. We were supposed to record this 10 hours ago. And our like, what do I call you? Our prestigious Blook, our little Sakabuda, that's a phrase, went to take a nap.
Oh wait, that's so
Sakabuta.
Yes, let's call him that from now on, or Sakubuda.
Took a nap. Said, I only do it for 30 minutes. I gave him a little technique that people do to stay awake. And little to my surprise, I call him in 30 minutes and no reply. And I just message, it's over. And I'm like, he's not going to wake up until 10. I'm not blaming you. I knew you weren't going to wake up. So, I mean, I'm not pissed. But I do think it's worth bringing up.
Personally, and like all the cosmic irony of this podcast being like a directionless husk of like people manically just trying to figure out what to talk about, there's something deeply funny to me about the idea of not being able to properly organize it at the time slots we had for various reasons, and then also like in the conclusion section, like your microphone also
just dies.
I can't, like, it's poetry, it rhymes. It's a quote George
It's
Lucas.
Gonna, I don't think this whole thing will be professional. I don't have a professional voice. My videos are very rambly, and my essays are, I won't call them nonsense, but they're not formal. I'll put it that way. But I do hope in the future we can at least, at minimum, have a Google Doc we could share with some notes, some topics, maybe pinpoint where we'll go with each thing, and maybe not try to just follow where the fucking do I want to call it a rhizome? Do I want to call it a rhizome? I don't want to call it that. Just follow where the flow goes, right?
They're trying so hard to resist the delusion, but it just comes out.
I think in the form of, I was reading an essay about this because I don't know shit about podcasting. They were talking about writing and movement, and they were trying to describe the problem with formal academic writing. And one of the problems with it is it's very slow. Words form in a particular way. They go through peer review. They take a long time to publish, unless you're posting on like social media, but then visibility becomes a different aspect. But if you're even worse, if you're working with a very fast moving thing, like, I don't know, if you're doing activist work, the text might not reach people at the time that it's required. So, they were describing a bunch of philosophical terms. Like, we were talking about Deleuze and cinema. They bring up Deleuze and cinema mostly to bring up Bergson and to describe undifferentiated time, the duration, rather than like the quantitative measurements, Zeno's paradox, whatever. And they mentioned podcasting. I honestly think it was an academic article, by the way, was just to plug their podcast. But the way they describe podcasting has a very different way of communication. It's not the same as like, I guess, the semiotically charged writing where, these words can sort of interject specific concepts, images, however you want to conceive of a text, right? The podcast can capture nuance. You can capture voice, right? It's also a lot faster in movement. And that's one of the reasons they started the podcast. And I think that's a great reason, because I actually Googled why other people start podcasts, and I got this like neoliberal schlock that said podcasting elevates your voice, podcasting builds marketable skills, and podcasting builds and strengthens community. Now, I don't know about you two, but I don't give a shit about any of those.
No, I don't either. I like what you're saying. It's like a happening.
It's like a happening, right? Like, it's when I'm writing something, and I kind of talk about this a lot when I'm actually just seeing with people casually. I think the way I speak and the way I write are very different. Very different. Like, there's a lot of things I wouldn't say with my voice and things I would say through text. A lot of it is due to my lack of reading. And if I can write, well, it's a lot slower moving. I could just read something real quick and make sure I'm right about what I'm saying. But if I'm speaking out loud, I'm a lot less charitable to my own knowledge, because you could really just say anything. And I think that's something good to pinpoint or focus on in a podcast, right? Kind of getting that sort of that flux, right? to communicate, right? To express ideas in a way that isn't legible through just text. But I also think that doesn't mean that we should completely throw out the notion of form. You know what I mean? I don't
know. I think this baby needs to get the fuck out of our backwater.
What?
You know the saying.
What is this? I thought it sounded like you were playing a game.
It says, the saying is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
What does that mean?
Have you never heard that? How are you describing it?
Are you old?
Basically, it's like if you're trying to identify like a problem, don't, like, let's say the bathwater is a problem. Don't throw the baby out with it.
Yeah, okay.
Just change the water, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. What is another way you would word that? I feel like, I've never heard that.
Don't throw the toddler out of the sink water.
Sure, that's probably close to my own childhood.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was also bathed in the sink as a kid.
Yeah, it's comfy.
But I assume what you're like talking about to me in my mind is the difference between the like typed on a typewriter or keyboard letter A, for example. Let's just take a letter A versus like when somebody actually writes it and you can see the like pencil stroke and from like where it started to where it ends. Like there's a velocity to that creates a trace of its existence in time, like of its becoming. That's sort of what you're describing, right?
Yeah.
Like, whereas like the perfectly industrial typed letter is just all of it comes at one time.
It's like
the ink hits and it's there. It's perfect.
In
uniform.
I think there's a quote within there that I really liked. Let me pull it up because I don't want to say it incorrectly. It'll take me 1 second. I posted on Twitter. Don't worry, I can cut this too.
No, I want
You
all
want
the
all of
silence
these?
intact. Don't you? We just talked about happenings.
Okay,
and,
true,
like,
but I didn't say reject
the
var.
sort of moment.
Like,
and now you're saying no, the silence is too awkward. No, we must embrace.
I'm a
it.
Gemini, okay.
No, we need the listener to think, hey, did my podcast accidentally stop playing? Like, did something pause it?
That's
and
to
only
punk
for our
them.
voices to jut back out in their like Bluetooth car speaker and scare the shit out of them on the highway. That's what this podcast is all
that's
about.
not, I mean, maybe for you. Okay, let me just say the thing. Movement is
No, I hate when that happens.
movement is indivisible in as much as to divide. One must have a stopping point, but when there's a stopping point, there's no longer movement. I'm not gonna substantiate. I just like that quote. You know who else has? Speaking of handwriting, Nick Land has really girly handwriting. I'm gonna bleep that.
I mean, he kind of takes after, in a way, like the sort of Walter Benjamins and stuff, where they're trying to do the automatic writing.
Transcendental
In the early,
syntax. Holy
like,
shit!
20s.
You know, Yeats did that.
That's a crazy term.
What,
I've never
transcendental.
heard
I don't even think I'm
before.
using it right. That was from like Gerard, I believe. This is actually an Evola podcast, by the way.
So true.
I don't know. I don't actually know anything about Gerard.
Yeah, me neither.
We all believe in
Now,
aristocratic spiritualism. Whatever that means.
So are we?
What is him?
What does that mean?
I have no clue.
I don't know. Say it again.
Aristocratic spiritualism? Like aristocratic of the soul?
Aristocratic.
Like, basically, just bourgeois metaphysics.
Holy shit. Why do you know this?
Symbiosis.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna say this out loud for.
Go ahead and I'll just bleep it.
But I did read Evola when I was, 16? Because it was kind of
There's
cool.
nothing wrong with that.
It was kind of cool to see stuff I saw in my funny Sun and Rat edits.
You know, I'll just out myself here. I think one way to leave the path. I mean, you have to be on the path of Chud to leave the path of Chud. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I don't know if madholy's had that happen, but I can say me and Blook certainly have.
We have been shut out.
What's that old George Carlin quote? It's like, inside every cynic is a hurt optimist. It's just like, do that, but
It's the
except
opposite?
Shut it instead. Inside every incel is a wounded chud.
Okay, but on everybody's soul. And strike Blook down right now if I'm fucking lying. Everyone in this podcast is an incel. All of us. We're all incels.
I'm not an incel. What do you mean? Jadon, my soul.
Huh? You're getting struck down.
Jadon, my
This
soul.
is a
Read
podcast
my
for
lips.
incels, made by incels. Everyone that's watching it, they're incels too.
Everybody listening, I am not an incel. I am, in fact, a super feminist.
Okay, you could be an incel and like a feminist. I'm using incel in the term of I don't get none.
What?
I don't get none. And I don't think I deserve any, but I don't get none, frankly speaking.
Well, I'm not really looking for some.
Okay, but that means you have to have like,
I mean, that's a lie. I occasionally open up a dating app.
oh, I can't do that. I think I tried once and it was so soul crushing. I never tried ever again.
I've had pretty okay experiences on them, but yeah, a lot of times it's just people kind of be like, "Yeah, you want to fuck?" and I'm like, "Nah, not
That's
really."
how I met Blook.
Huh?
That's how I met you.
That's how I met Blook.
How dare you get us confused?
We met on a dating app.
The dating app being Facebook?
On Dualicious.
Maybe, yeah.
No, we met on Dualicious. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, we met on the freaking Muslim dating app.
Which one? I don't
Was it
know.
like Muslim Match?
Fuck, I don't know shit.
I haven't no clue.
I gotta go in there now.
I'm learning so much about the world
Are you
from this
really?
podcast. We're a true globalist.
Yeah, I'm actually just Takeshi
icon.
Murakami.
We're true JD Pond third worldist around here.
Mhm. Now, is there any people we should shit talk before we have our closing words?
Osaka syndrome.
Dude, can we even put that? Can we leave that in there?
Fine.
You don't know. Should we?
Yeah, it's really, really funny and ballsy if it decides to watch this.
Okay, that is true. Yeah, okay. We'll shit on Osaka syndrome. No Thank You, but like slightly less than him.
Yeah, for sure.
Artificial Night Sky.
Forgetting Girlfriends.
The Study of Swords. Moon Channel.
Are these people?
No,
Are these
random
people from
internet
your
people.
server?
Moon Channel, Study of Swords.
I knew Moon Channel, and this video
pause and select.
terrible.
Pause and select.
Wait, I'm not shitting on Sword Dad.
Kexi. Who else is there? That one guy who made the video about Daria Core.
Oh,
he's a Chihaya profile picture.
What's he called again? Fuck, I forgot his name. Novalaxia?
Yeah, Novalaxia. Who else? And
actually, what if I open up my YouTube? Will I get like a shitty YouTube channel or an
Machiavellian
Mother's Basement?
Shit on. I saw one the other day, like, because I rewatched the Coen Brothers movie adaptation of No Country for Old Men because I had listened to the audiobook of Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men, and I was like, let's rewatch this movie, and immediately I get like a YouTube analysis video that's like the ending of No Country for Old Men explained. It's like 20 minutes or something, and I just thought that is. Both the book and the movie are
transparent,
pretty stark on detail.
You don't gotta read into it; just read it. Just look at the movie.
Like it's weird because the ending of the film is not ambiguous. It's just like an older man just commenting on the crime that he's witnessed and just being like, I don't know what to do about it. It's ambivalent because it's very complicated. It's very conflicting. All these sad, tragic things. That seems senseless. It's just him. It's just him being like, "I'm sad and don't know what to do about the world," and then it just ends. It just leaves you there, suspended. Like, what's there to explain about it? It's not trying to ask you a mysterious question or anything.
Also, that just gave me a wonderful idea. We should have like some episodes dedicated to. Can I use the word auteurs?
Auteur, yeah.
Like auteur. How do you say it? Say it again. So I can. Auteur. Yeah, auteur. So, like directors and stuff like that. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That's a good idea.
If we end up talking about Sakuga, I consider that just like another form of auteur theory.
Yeah, see? I'm probably not using the word right.
Yeah,
Oshiyama, second episode.
We could talk about like a topical, auteur anime episodes. This week there was the Kamina Bozan Ginsan episode, which I have lots of graphs about and we definitely want to elaborate more on.
Yeah, and maybe I'll be able to say something, but I probably won't be able to talk about quality, and I'll probably just extrapolate towards like some random theory thing because that's the only thing I'm good for.
I will have to re-sign into my old Sakuga Boru account that I haven't touched in a while.
We should call this like episode 0.
Why do you have an account?
Clips I found. It was actually a really good reference.
Also, fuck the PCP. I forgot to mention that.
It's so true.
And fuck Weeb Crew.
No, don't fuck Weeb Crew. I love those guys.
And fuck Anime World Order, even though I watched them a lot.
Mume or Mumi, if you were listening, which you're probably not.
Okay.
Mume's a YouTuber, or was. Mumi, if you were there, have me on your podcast. I will embarrass you all by. Not by mogging you or anything, but just because I'll keep talking about porn in the middle of the episode.
Now, I'm wondering if I should cut out all of that. But I will, if I don't, because I can cut this out too. I'm a megalomaniac.
I don't hate you guys.
I'm just saying fuck you.
Pretend that I'm Patrick Galbraith's brother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did have Patrick Galbraith.
They did. I like
We should invite him here. We should, all the people we said fuck you to, we invite them to the podcast. The only one who's an exception.
The Moon Channel?
No. No. What? That's like my hero.
Does that mean we get to invite the Colonel Otaku guy?
Yeah, Colonel Otaku. No, yeah, fuck you, Colonel Otaku. Anyone that said fuck you to, invite to the podcast. Maybe you'll teach us how to do it.
His
name among other things.
Is like Oshino Shinobu's full name. Do you know her full name?
Kiss Shot Asurella Orion Heart Underblade.
How the fuck did you just do that?
I just know it by heart.
That's crazy. I have a friend who's never seen the Monogatari, and anytime I bring it up, she says the full name. Like she types out the full name instead of just saying Shinobu, and I'm just like, why? She's like, isn't that her name? And I'm like, yes, but like, why?
Now, I'm not even gonna try to fucking word it like I feel like the conversation's like, toning down. I'll be fucking honest. From my experiences talking to these two people, we can talk all day. In fact, I just got out of a call that was 11 hours long because he went to sleep. Blook.
I'm sorry. I'm a sleepy
I
boy.
got off the Discord call. I drove home for an hour and 30 minutes on that call. And I got off of it because I was having ear fatigue and thought, well, they'll let me know when it's ready. And by the time I get back on later, after taking my own nap, they're still in the call.
Yeah, but one of them was deafened and muted. Now, I'm going to try to cut it short and to make sure the ratios of voice are equal. Blook, can you try to recap everything we talked about? I'm testing you. This is pop quiz. Everything.
Okay. So basically, in this episode, we presented ourselves. We, the co-hosts, we hosts, I guess. We talked about film theory, the montage theory, some of it, AI for some reason. We talked about what's popular, if or a movie made today in today's economy. And I guess all the other equivalents nowadays. Then my mind blanked out for a whole bunch of it.
During the montage thing, I was literally just staring at the Audacity timer going down.
What happens if the AI overlord becomes a woke lolicon?
Well, the world will implode, and I hope it does if that happens.
Their favorite show is Ori Emo, and they're like, we need to remake this right now.
Is that... Okay, well then it's the good end. We'll get and they're gonna hire real artists too. Would it be? No, is it still AI art if you were hired by an AI? That's really smart.
That's a good question actually. I guess
because how much does that right? That image of the AI how much does it print into it? Is it the writer or what process is it involved with?
I think that the AI overlord will commission a human artist. But then it will slap a really smudgy AI watermark over every cell or frame of the show, and you get an end of Evangelion style montage where all the weird little paint splatters are going everywhere. Except it's just a shitty watermark.
Sora, fuck that! I feel like I have something witty to say about that, but I don't.
I mean, concerning the AI thing, you could say that most production and anime are already made by AI because the way the suits operate, the way businessmen and investors operate, is that they just see popular IPs and go, yeah, we need to do this on a very logical, almost algorithmic level.
I think the one thing to keep up with work, I mean, people are using AI. I don't think that's surprising to think. Someone in our server, master student, just told me yeah, I'm fully subbed to Claude. I'm like, Claude? He's like, and ChatGPT. I was like, huh. People, you kind of just do. By the way, my coworkers do that shit and they ask it for everything. And I'm just shocked, He'll take a selfie and be like, what should I change about myself to ChatGPT? I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking kill your own mind, bro. That is real cognitive offloading.
I work at a tech AV company. And anytime we get into a meeting with anybody, the first 10 minutes are just being man, do you think AI is going to replace all of us? It's just non-fucking stop. They're making us stop talking about the same goddamn AI conversations.
We could think about it this way. How oil might sort of enact its own will onto us and make us do certain things like war. Productive tools like AI or pens and whatever might have their own sort of apparatus, like a camera.
Are you being Heideggerian?
No, I'm actually referring to feeling fluster. It's a little different there though, but the idea is that a tool is not neutral. The oil thing was Reza Nagarstani.
I thought you were going to refer to what's his name, Virilio.
Virilio does talk about that, but he doesn't he's not against.
I just think Virilio.
Really? Does he talk about that? I mean, I guess he talks about cinema. Maybe he brings it up there.
A lot of my understanding of what Thomas Lamar would call apparatus theory is just Thomas Lamar talking about Virilio.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of understood apparatus, like from my reading a while back, it was sort of understood as a particular, it was through film theory is how I understood it. Now, Virilio did talk about film. I didn't read War and Cinema. I probably should. But I understood apparatus theory as being the sort of deterministic side of the film theory coin, and specificity being the alternative that doesn't sort of foreclose any of the discoveries found in apparatus theory. But I'm using apparatus theory aside from film because shit, I don't know anything about film.
I think what Lamar was mentioning, because this isn't like the opening introduction of the anime machine, is that like, yeah, apparatus theory originates, at least I believe it originates in cinema. It's in terms of like the monocular lens of the film camera itself, taken from the like Cartesian perspectivalism of like Quattrocentro Renaissance art, which is using like the chiaroscuro to trace over like, you know, things from a monocular perspective. But I think they just took that as a form of like when Virilio comments on the ways in which like, say like, the panopticon of society and other things are built around like these technological apparatuses of the military state and the government, and they become deterministic. And I think that's why he was talking about apparatus theory in the context of Virilio.
I think the only thing I'd push back on a bit is like a big part of Virilio's theories are very technology sort of operates in its own like language, its own logic, like an accident. Or like, I mean, obviously it's just pulled an accident because it's easy. The accident is it's inherently part of the system, kind of like expenditure is a part of wealth or energy.
Well, I learned that from Cosmopolis. His prostate.
I learned that from Bataille. I was reading Notions of Expenditure earlier. I'm sorry. I thought you would bring that up too. That's why I said it.
You win this dick.
I win the sued dick measuring thing, and just to prove how little any of us really read anything.
As many points as I get for mentioning Cosmopolis, I feel like when you bring up the tie, it's automatically
no, I mean, I think. Well, I'm not gonna try to like dick measure those two. I like both. But
I do too. We'll have a Cosmopolis podcast one day. I think
one thing to understand with Virilio is not necessarily technophobic exactly, but is understandably mixed about the whole thing. But one important thing, and this is sort of his own, I guess, warranted practice, would is essentially like AI safety. One of the biggest problems with technology is how fast it is. The flash crash, for example, happened in 2008 or something. Not the depression, but something else. Technology is sort of working in its own like logic, its own time. It's not even completely. We can't quantitatively understand it just from like our minds. We're gonna have to do a bunch of crazy science shit, and when it gets to that point, when something bad happens, it's gonna fucking crash, and that's something we should understand with technology. So he would opt for trying to put in mechanisms or safety protocols for technology to be slowed down a little bit, so we can at least control. Not because it's not going to happen; it can always happen. You make a ship can crash, and you're going to invent the shipwreck, right? But trying to put in safe practices is probably a better word for it, like safety nets for it, so it isn't as fucking catastrophic as like, I don't know, 9/11, right? But I mean, it's a whole different thing, and maybe I'm misunderstanding Virilio. I really only read Speed and Politics.
I don't know these things, but what I do know is that I keep in my head thinking about Thomas Lamar. And do you remember when the billionaire submersible got lost at sea so tragically? I just remember somebody within the anime, like academic sphere on Twitter, like posting like, "Oh no, we need Thomas Lamar's help to get the submersible back." And then somebody responded with an image from Nadia See Through the Blue Water with the like captain and his like submersible crew. And I just think that was fucking perfect.
Man, that is a real in-group right there. Was that Pause and Select? That's the only person I think would post that.
Else. I don't remember their actual name, but they were chill.
Now I'm going to just be very honest here. The second theory came up, I felt like bleeping all of it out because
You don't
this is
want to get
why
mocked?
no, not because of mogging. It's because I'm really careful about what I say, and because I didn't read up on anything, I kind of just said it. I'm
You
worried.
need to embrace the polemics. Aren't you an automatic writer? Don't you want
I'm
that
not an
velocity?
automatic writer. You think I'm fucking using Claude?
Ah, you're right.
I'm a vessel. Maybe I'm like a vessel for like the performance art of being otaku. You know?
I'm gonna go tell Sword Dad and Pause and Select about this, so they can
Don't.
listen to this and then correct you on every single.
Don't do it. I have to read more. I'm young. I'm still in school. Leave me alone.
I'm gonna get the Sword
I'm just
Dad,
just a guy.
postmodern expert to put you in your place.
Didn't I
young
fucking
man.
school you earlier about that? Where do you be putting me in my place?
Did you school me? I think the only
You were-
school we
you were
talked
talking about,
was
like-
Ishizuka reviewers.
No, we were talking about like where it came from or some shit. I forgot the exact conversation, and I was like, "That's a
Where what
leotard
came
thing."
from?
Postmodernism.
Oh yeah, the term.
Now, not that I'm a fucking expert on leotard,
and you know
yeah.
where I learned that?
sword study of
Dad.
swords. See,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
watch
right.
YouTubers like generally. I don't like YouTube
I make an exception for him and Pause and Select.
and Moon Channel and Osaka Syndrome.
Like I said,
On
I
everybody's
make an
soul.
exception for him and Pause and Select.
Yeah, but if we do stuff, I said this probably 6 times already. We should really have a plan. And we should really have research, and we should really have like notes we'd bring up, certain things we could say about it. It's not going to completely reduce the fluxes of casual conversation, but at least point it somewhere. So, it's more like a story because, it is like content. This is a duration of time being spoken aloud. There's a certain implicit narrative being positioned within it, and we could kind of take control of that, at least to an extent, right? And I think we should do that. Yeah.
This is what we're gonna do. Okay, you're gonna next time we do this, you're gonna do your research, kind of get all your things figured out, and then me and Blook.
Wait, only
me and
me?
Blook are gonna come in completely ill prepared and just see how you react. It's gonna be a social experiment.
What the fuck? Shit. Yeah. Also, that one time that essay I was talking about podcasting, about like activism and whatnot. It was actually really interesting because at a certain point of the essay, you could tell that they were using speech to text software to actually transcribe all of it.
God.
And, it's actually pretty obvious, even though it's like a sort of, it's archaic in a way, and that writing is very particular in how it expresses these ideas. You can still tell. And it's completely different from like formal academic writing when you're just allowed to just speak and say stupid shit.
It's
not that I want to say
pretty
stupid shit. I really don't want to say stupid shit. I am very, 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 very insecure about the things I think.
I think you would write very interesting yellow journalism.
Yellow journalism?
Yellow journalism was the term. I forget his name actually. The guy Citizen Kane or Charles Foster Kane is based on.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not a real like media person. I haven't seen Citizen Kane.
He was basically like the Rupert Murdoch of his time in the 1920s, like this like media mogul who sort of pioneered the modern American style of, we call it yellow journalism, but basically it's just like your crappy like slanderous headlines and stuff that are just like full of lies about people you don't like in order to influence public opinion. So they call it yellow journalism. I think you'd make it a very interesting author of it.
Yeah, I'd probably be more insecure about my own writing as I read it. I'm like, I don't really say anything bad.
So that's exactly why it would be interesting. So you're like breaking down in the middle of it, being like, how do I make this lie convincing? I just don't know about this.
Just like, I should just be honest. I don't think I'm cut out for this shit. I really don't.
All the subjects of your like derision are just like being like inverse mocked by you, who's accidentally mocking yourself by trying to talk shit about them. It's a self-perpetuating like prophecy, because you're like, your whole thing is trying to avoid to be mocked, and you're suddenly doing it to yourself because you can't keep like the confidence intact.
I mean, I think that's how mogging works in general, but I don't think here it's mogging. It's more like I want to be credible, essentially.
I don't like, we're not like Joe Rogan, okay?
I
You know
mean,
what I mean?
I mean, it'd be pretty awesome if we were. But you know, I was thinking about like us having an intro for these videos. I don't know if this will have an intro when we record it, but there's one line in it I think should be in there. Bringing you the world's least scholarly takes. I think that'd be a good tagline.
And on, I guess, the opposite side of that spectrum, scholarly takes us Alex Jones, the most informed man alive.
Who is?
Alex Jones.
Oh, true.
He just gets all of his information, you know? He just gets it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're not careful about saying things and not at least slightly reflexive about the things you're saying, you might just say really crazy stuff.
See, this is why I find it funny that like we're trying to be credible, because I'm just like, yeah, so Alex Jones and Joe Rogan exist, and they're like the big names, and we're just
That
like,
doesn't mean it's like a good thing.
no, it's not a good thing. In fact, it's quite a terrible thing. It's actually quite one of the biggest ails of our modern society, in fact. However, I think the constant inflections of doubt and curiosity here kind of go a long way to, you know, not necessarily the case of trying to be authoritative or correct, but just, you know, being open to to the corrections.
Yeah, that's how I put it. But you know, the only answer to the world of post-truth and insane right-wing conspiracy theories is another podcast.
Theo Vaughn?
No, this podcast. What the fuck is Theo Vaughn?
Let's not worry about it.
Okay. Blook, are you still awake?
Yeah, I'm just working. Yeah,
You're working.
as usual. I'm always my left hemisphere is always focused on working, and I'm sticking to with the right side of my brain.
Yeah, I don't know if it works like that. Is that how it works?
I have no clue. My frontal cortex is completely focused on the work that I'm doing right now.
I kind of wish like the theory about the left and right brain was true, because I would love if you could like have some parts of the brain like really smooth, but others are like extremely wrinkled.
Oh God!
Imagine if imagine if like you would change political positions by switching to different parts of your brain. That'd be really stupid. Like having like an ad hoc political compass in your brain.
Like, I am now going to access the frontal lobe, and you like think really hard.
Did you see the? This is really off topic. The Adidas new Chinese New Year's Chinese like jacket. The one with the I don't know what you call those. The one you like, they're like buttons, but they're really big. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're selling them.
They're based on the Mandarin Tang jackets. Yeah,
they're coming out in America, but I mean you're not American, so.
I mean, I have one.
You do. We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say whether it's legit or not. It's
Okay. So is there any closing words here? Because we're reaching 2 hours, and mind you, I'm gonna edit this, and there's a few things I think that should be edited out.
It'll be perfectly uncut.
I assure you, they will be tasteful. I assure you.
We get to have like a Patreon where if you want the full uncut version of the podcast, you got to pay us like $2.
There's no way we're doing that. I might as well just post on my server.
That, actually, like I feel like that's the money making method. Be like, yeah, gang of like 10 viewers, you want to hear the real truth of what we're saying, and it's just nothing but
yeah. How many times we mentioned Nick Land?
Okay, what if I just read the opening introduction again and we consider that a closer?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I was thinking about just having an abrupt fucking cut because I've been trying to close this for like an hour. I've been trying to close this for an hour, dude.
Wow, this reminds me of a conversation we had once. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess this is as good a stopping place as any other, because once again, we lack the direction to even know when to stop.
on everybody's soul.
This-
Next episode, we'll
be-
be talking about Spotted Flower, and this time it will be extremely planned, and we won't
We
ever
will?
mention Nick Land this time.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's
the
talk
next
about
episode is Spotted
next time.
Flowers. Okay, I mean, sure.
All right, let's just start that. Do we want? We can branch off like certain chapters. We can start on.
We
something.
can talk about some things, but we do need a center thing because we did not have a center thing here, except I think the center thing here was me trying to bring it back to the thing you wrote about the episode. But yeah.
Yeah, or emo.
I mean,
And we never stopped
Okay,
talking
if
about
we're-
or emo. We were talking about it the whole time.
if we really do want to talk about that, I do have quite a few things to say, just to be frank. And I read the VN too.
Oh man, dedicated.
I didn't read a lot of novels though. I did read like the
There's-
If manga though.
There are certain troopers in this world, and only a handful of them have finished all of War Emo.
And what should be the last thing we say before I literally just cut it?
Bingus.
I don't know if I went. Am I really gonna do that?
Did you already cut it?
No.
No, I haven't cut it either.
Yeah, me neither.
LOL. Well, this has been the Genshiken Alumni Podcast, tentative title. I hope you enjoyed how rambly we are, and I hope that in future episodes we either continue that trend unabashedly, unashamedly, and with dedication and determination, or we get our shit together and still ramble anyways, because that's inevitable. Whatever the case, dear viewers, let us know what you think. Or don't. I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching this. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy it.
I've said it to my mom.